Welcome to your darling show, the retirement show with Oto Emmanuel.
Good afternoon and welcome, Mrs. Nelly.
Thank you.
ADEREMYI.
Thank you.
My name is Chin and I'm your host for today. And as you know, this is our program, the retirement show, that is being powered by the Management House Africa here in Abuja. So you're welcome again.
Thank you. It's my pleasure being here.
So briefly, can we meet you? Let's know you.
Okay. You have already known my name. I'm Mrs. Nelly ADEREMYI.
Yes, please.
I'm still in service. I'm not retired.
Okay.
I'm a chief admin officer. Yeah, with NCCC. It's under presidency.
Oh.
Yeah. So, for now. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now,
okay, I can also add I'm with the human resource.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, still under the presidency?
Yes.
Okay, that's nice to know. Thank you and welcome again.
Thank you.
Now let's quickly dive in. The first question I have here is, just like the name of the show, the retirement show.
Sure.
I want to know, what age do you plan to retire and why?
The truth is, if I will have my way, I would like to retire at least the age of 55.
Okay.
But the stipulated age is 60 years.
Yeah, for retirement.
Yes, 60 years. But to me, because I'm still very vibrant and agile,
gorgeous.
Thank you. So I do other things. I'm into farming. Okay. I'm into other small scale business. So I would like to have my time instead of me to go and start squeezing my age like some of civil servants do. I won't want to die on the job. Because when you retire, you still have, you are not tired because you are retired,
but not
tired. So I still want to have my strength to do things for myself and my family and the nation as a whole. So instead of you waiting to, you struggle to climb the step is a problem. Why? So by the time you now retire, what will you be doing with yourself? You will now put the burden on your family members, your children, your family as a whole. At times you might not even be able to stand up on the bed. So I think, to me, 55 is okay.
55.
Yes.
Wow. That's nice to know.
Thank you.
So I would like to know also, what are your goals for retirement? Do you have any goals for retirement? Now, when I'm talking about goals, I mean like travel goals. Would you want to travel out? What are the plans you have for that? Security, insurance, health insurance, like that. Let's have that.
Okay, my goals when I'm retired, you said. Even when I'm not retired, I like to travel.
Your hobbies? It's
part of traveling. I love to travel.
Wow.
But the situation of the country doesn't
of
the world. Or let me, I think of the world. Most whites, their vacation is the travel.
Yes.
They save for the travel for that. Specifically, you will see a white man. When they are going for holidays, is during their vacation they travel. But we in Nigeria, it's not like that. And it's not as if we don't want it. It's not as if we don't or we cannot do it. But by the time you check what naira and dollar is talking about, how much do you even, I think the question should be, how much do you earn? How much do you have to even save for the travel? Like a family of 4. You have, the man is there, you, and maybe 4 children. That means that's 6. How do you plan? And you won't want to go for the vacation alone.
Yeah.
So how do you plan for 6 family in this economy? So you consider your ticket, you consider feeding, you consider accommodation, you consider shopping for the kids, for yourself. So how is it real for a civil servant?
You just
To do
let me just remain where I am.
You instead, you see, when we go on leave at times, you will see we are not on leave. We are still looking for one thing to do or the other. I just feel there is no rest for civil servants. It's as bad as that. There is no rest for civil servants, and it's so bad that we don't have a passionate leaders that will look at civil servants and say, "Ha," because putting in your 35 years,
Yes, that's no joke.
it's not a joke. That's like 3 decades plus and a half of your life. 3 decades of your productive life, not just of your life. Thank you.
True.
That's like 3 decades and a half. So is really so bad. I could remember when I finished my service.
Okay.
I had a friend. She later got a job in a private firm. Okay. So we met at the airport. And she was like, we asked ourselves, what are you into? What I said, I'm a civil servant too. He said, civil servant, that means you will be chopping. I said, chopping what? I said, we were the same grade level. But what she was earning was times 3 of what I was earning. When I mentioned what I was earning, she did not believe it. I now said, okay, I know you will believe when you see a alert of my salary. Shebi, at least you can read so month salary. That was when she believed. She said, and you are like this, money leave what I'm like. This is our take home every month. It's not every civil servant that is like this.
Yes.
It's not.
We don't look like what we are going through.
You know, my husband used to say, civil servant, we wear coat. Coat.
Small coat.
I said, do you know why we wear coats? Because we cannot afford to buy turkey suit. How much is the salary that you want to? If I tell you what our directors earn, you will weep. I have a director that just retired, and maybe we will get to that point. Maybe
okay.
It's bad. It's terrible. It's bad for civil servants. What do you save? Civil servants don't have life. You just put in, and that's why when government is saying they should curb they should curb what is the word they should curb maybe civil servant from stealing, they should curb corruption, they should curb. How do you curb corruption in civil service? It will be very difficult. You can't even eliminate it. You can't even reduce it.
Or try to suppress.
You can't suppress it. Because by the time you are giving how much? Sorry, I wanted to say basic. The credit that you it will not even be enough for the salary will not be enough to clear it. And maybe a contractor comes to your office and somebody said, Madam, will you run this file for me for this envelope? Please, will you say no? When you remember you have not even paid your rent, you remember you have not cleared your children are at home because you can't pay their school fees, and somebody is bringing
envelope.
Except you came from Jesus' womb. That is when you can be able to. But in as much as is this thing that government is giving, we are grateful because there are still people that don't have this. We are still grateful, but I believe government can still do more. They shouldn't play politics on increment of civil servant salary. They shouldn't. Even the minimum wage that they said they've given, people don't even understand whether it's there or not because it's not significant enough. It's not. So a lot government needs to do a lot to put smile on civil servants. Remember, a lot of them comes from different places, outskirts of Abuja or outskirts of FCT. You see people, I remember a copper that came from, I didn't even know one of them, my colleague also came from Akwanga.
Akwanga is in Nasarawa.
That is where, when she now said, ma, okay, I happen to, take for your transport. And he said, thank you, ma. Ma, I normally follow so person. I said, who? He said, so person comes from Akwanga. I now said, you come from Akwanga?
To work.
Akwanga. He said, I come from. That was when I said, no. This is. So is that terrible? And these are people that are putting in their best to make sure work moves. So that's the plight of civil servants
in Nigeria.
Yes. That's the plight of civil servants in Nigeria.
We do hope that one day
there will be will change.
Yeah, the narratives will change for the better. Now let's have this last question. What sources of income do you expect to have in retirement?
I remember,
business?
I told you before that I'm into farming.
Yeah, you said so.
I'm into small scale and a lot of things. I want to tell you a story of, we had a program, staffs, and the resource person asked a question that, is it advisable with this little salary that you can bring out something to save for retirement? I raised up my hand, and more than half of the people in the hall nearly wanted to eat me raw. That way you think everybody is like you. You think, I said no. It's not that. I'm not saying, I know that the salary is not good enough. Even if you are bringing out 2,000. I even told them then 5,000. Things were not this bad. I said even if it's 5,000, some of us here, we have 5 years, 10 years. Even just save something. Because with our pension crisis or issues now, and I just hope there are some groups that are fighting for it now. Give people their pension money. Let them manage their. You can't love me more than I love myself.
That's true.
Somebody sent me something and I said, I will support this with my full chest. Give people their pension money. You can't, because a lot of retirement officers die before they even collect their money. And it's not for you to now, for the family to now get that money, they sweat. I remember when I was in NAPEP, retirement people, men, women, they were dying under the step there, fighting for their money. Their sweat, you see them dying there until one of the head of service came and said, this shouldn't happen. They will be begging when you pass. They can't love them the way they love themselves.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't be giving people 20% this year, 10% this year. If something happens, and their family will have to go through a lot of stress to have this money back. Let government, let people be giving their, because you're saving and government is saving. Please, at the end of retirement, give people their money. Let them manage it. If they want to squander it let them. It's their sweat.
Yeah.
They've sweated for it. Please, they've sweated for it. It's their sweat. Let them eat their sweat the way they want it. Keep their money. Don't keep it. Don't use people's retirement sweat to enrich yourself. Because to me, that is what is happening. They are using this pension money to enrich themselves. Because how many people get this money? You will stay without anything for a year. I remember one of my boss, as I round up, we had something to do. He was in my office. They now took him to another office. This was a jolly good fellow, bubbling man.
A very vibrant person.
In fact, I think that year we met in US for a trip.
Okay.
And when this man came back, when I saw this man, we greeted over there. When I now saw him, he said, Nelly, I'll be retiring so time. When I now saw the man in need of service, he was working and talking to himself. After like 6 months of retirement, he was walking and talking to himself. I was like, in fact, I have to call somebody that's Mr. So now. Me, this one, I won't greet you. Me, I said that, why will you allow people to that? Why will you allow people to go through this after putting in their hard-earned 35 years of their life,
their productive
life? Please, let government do something about it. Let government do something about it. It's not every. There are some civil servants that wouldn't mind even 5 years. They are fine. But there are about some that were not opportune to grab the grabbables. Juicy offices. It's not everybody that can survive it.
Not everybody.
It's not everybody. And how many civil servants stays for 70, 80 years? How many? Hardly. I'm telling you, I know of how many. I met one of my directors somewhere. He just retired and he has machiated. And you said he shouldn't be giving he has to wait for 1 year of suffering, of depending on his family. How about if the family was depending on him or on her? Because there are some female civil servants that they are the one taking care of the family. They are the breadwinner. So how do they? So the family stops because a civil servant has retired. The family stops moving. Children stops going to school. And they should consider, please. They should consider. There are lots of factors to consider. For 1 year, a lot can happen. A lot can happen. Within that 1 year of waiting for your pension to be paid, your gratuity that is not in full to be paid. I'm not even talking about pension now. Gratuity to be paid, a lot can happen. How about if the person gets, I know of somebody that got sick just few months after retirement. He died without collecting anything. Yes. But at least if this money was paid, they can use this money to run around, take the woman to the hospital, and he will get treatment, and probably she wouldn't have died.
So a lot of things could have been avoided.
Yes, a lot could have. This program, please call me again, I will come. It's always a passion for me to talk of retirement, please.
We'll do
it's
that.
Always a pleasure talking about retirement.
We'll do that, and we'll get to your office, and we'll see how we can penetrate the office of the head of service.
Yes, I know she will be interested in this. Because she also will be retiring soon. She needs to know the plans for her. There are people that retirement comes every year. And people really need to be educated on how you can plan, in the know of how you can plan for your retirement. At least if you still have 5-10 years, you can still do something. But I still implore the government to please give civil servants their money after retirement to manage it themselves, not the pension firm. Yes, please.
Okay, Mrs. Nelly, it has been a wonderful time here in our studios.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Always my pleasure. Thank you.
See more of you.